Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in on another episode of this is a leadership podcast focused on helping you become the best version of you that you can become through, or rather than following some kind of methodology of someone that wrote a book or somebody that read a book that's telling you how the book does it. I want to share from my own experience the things that have helped me develop as a leader, not only in the military, but also in the civilian and business world. And so, I'm posting today. It is Sunday. I don't know if you guys can see it. You really can see it probably. It's Sunday. It's 9:21 p.m. And I am in my office. And somebody asked, or someone may ask me, what is wrong with me? Why are we on a Sunday at the office putting work, doing things? And this has to do with the 14 leadership traits that we've been discussing, right? One of those is called initiative. When initiative has to do with you doing the things that nobody else is doing, the things that nobody else is willing to do. It's kind of crazy to think that we live in a world where making money is easy. I was sharing with someone recently that because of the things that we've done in the past, I am in a position today where if we really wanted to, we could probably live an okay life without having to work again. The reason why we keep on working is because our purpose is a lot bigger, and the bigger the purpose, the bigger the cash you're gonna need, the bigger the bank account you're going to need. I feel a little under the weather right now, so if my voice sounds weird, that's the reason why. And I wanted to come and share in with you guys because a lot of you may be feeling a little bit off or down, or maybe people are talking down on you or giving you crap because you're also out there working. You're also putting in the work, hustling for your family, trying to make something happen. And the normal people, they won't understand it. You gotta understand. You have to know that most people live lives of quiet desperation, and the reason why they do that is because they've conformed to this idea that being okay, it's okay, and that's not okay. I don't know about you guys, but the God that I believe in, the God that I serve, called us to be kings in the world, and because of that, I also believe that He's going to put in our path the resources needed for us to be able to build a kingdom, to live a life equal to heaven before heaven here on earth. But that also requires a lot of sacrifice, a lot of energy. It requires that when you feel down, you're still showing up. That when you're feeling great, you're doing more. It requires that when you're out there, even though people might look at you and say, hey man, you're working too hard, you're spending too much time away from your family, you never sleep. Someone told me the other day, man, you gotta sleep. And honestly, in the last 3 or 4 months, the only day that I was really tired was Friday to Saturday. So like yesterday or the day before yesterday to Saturday, man, I was really tired. I'll be very honest with you guys. It was just one of those things that I was drained to the point that this morning, I was dragging even this morning after having a good night's sleep because my body just needed to kind of catch up. I think that's probably why I got a little sick too, because I don't do that too often. But I was still at the office. I was still putting in the time, putting in the work, booking appointments, getting our week ready. Guys, so if you are in a position right now in your life where you're privileged to be alive, you're privileged to still have a shot, you have an opportunity where you can just keep on moving the needle forward, as one of my mentors say, you owe it to yourself, and you owe it to your dreams and to your families and to the people that look down on you because you're working so hard. You owe it to them to put in the work now. When you're young, I'm less young than when I first came into the US. I'm from Puerto Rico originally, but I still feel pretty young. I still have a lot of energy. And one of the things that you want to do is you want to surround yourself with people that will allow you to see a bigger vision for yourself. And a lot of people say, well, I'll believe it when I see it. And one of the things that I've learned in my career is that you have to surround yourself with people that have achieved some sort of success higher than whatever success you've had, because you get to see real time what it takes, number one, for you to build something successful, but number two, you get to see how it changes people's lives. And if you have any shred of common sense and you kind of look at that person and say, man, they are not that good, they're not better than me for sure. If they cut them, if they get cut, they bleed red just like I do. So that means that if they do something special, if they become successful, if I do the same thing or more, I could also become successful. And a lot of times we do need to be surrounded with people that have achieved certain levels of success, because it exposes you to what's possible out there. But instead of you feeling sorry for yourself, and I'll tell you this because I feel sorry for myself. Sometimes I felt like, man, it's too much. I was thinking about it earlier. I was talking to one of my mentors about this, and I barely saw my kids this week. Like I saw them like Sunday, and that was it. And it gets to me that right now maybe I don't get to enjoy the kids the way that I want to. It does get to me, and you're gonna feel like this sometimes. But you know what? It always keeps me going. It's looking at them and thinking that whenever they get to the age that I am today, they will have a better life because of whatever sacrifices we've made. And because of that, the next generation, not only their generation, but the generation that follows, will have opportunities that maybe were never afforded to me because of the money part not being there. There's a saying that if you are born poor, that's not your fault, but if you die poor, that's 100% your fault. And that couldn't be closest to the truth, guys. That's the closest truth that exists out there. See, the only thing you're owed when you are born in this life, it's a roof under your, or a roof above your head. You gotta feed yourself or be fed. Whoever brought you into this world is supposed to provide for you, maybe on the early 8 stages of your life. But once you hit a certain point, then it is 100% your responsibility to decide what kind of life you want to lead. This is the same reason why, for example, baptism, and I'll use this is a terrible example, but the one that comes to my mind is baptism. It's not done onto little kids, it's done onto people that have the ability to decide to love the Lord. Because at that moment, when you have discernment and the power to decide, then you have full control of what happens with your life from that moment forward. When you're young, maybe you don't have that much control. And so the same is true in the world of business, in the world of success, in the professional careers, in the life that you're trying to build for yourself, for your families. At the beginning, maybe you have zero control, but you get to a point where you become mature in the business enough that now it's 100% on you what happens with your life from that moment forward. So if you're ever wondering, man, am I doing the right thing by maybe working on a Sunday so many hours when everybody else went to church, to the beach, maybe to a restaurant, and then partied out, then yeah, of course, you are allowed to feel sorry for yourself 2 seconds, and then remember why is it that you're doing what you're doing, why you're putting in the work, why you're trying to pursue something that most people aren't. And let me tell you one thing, and I'll wrap it up with this. Remember that success is something that you attract by the person you become. Most people out there, unfortunately, aren't becoming absolutely anything. They are just going through life, following on the footsteps of maybe their parents or their friends or their circle of influence, of what social media tells them that life should be or could be. They become consumers of life rather than creators of life. And we are called to create life experiences, provide for others, show an example. You gotta go out there and you have to make a conscious decision that through pain, through sickness, through almost like marriage, by the way, you're going to do whatever it takes to get yourself to a point where you can relax and say, I've done it. I've worked my tail off and I can relax. But not just that, I'm leaving behind something, a legacy that will allow the next generation to either build upon it or be set forever. It's biblical even that men are supposed to leave back an inheritance. So go out there, do the work. Don't feel so terrible that you're working on the weekends, long hours, not seeing your family. One day you're gonna look back and it's all gonna make sense. And people are gonna call you crazy now, but they're also gonna call crazy the life that you live, when you decide to really go for it. I hope that helped, guys. I hope it didn't take too long. Love you and have a happy Sunday. You still got a few hours on Sunday to do something special. Watch a movie. I don't know. Relax for a few hours. But do it when you've earned it. If you haven't earned it yet, you didn't put any work today, maybe just keep on working until you go to sleep, okay? Guys, again, we live in a world where technology is advancing rapidly. Use it, leverage it, go out there and just make sure that whatever you're creating, it's going to be a blessing, not just for you, but others around you. Have a good one, guys, and see you on the next one.